Now, the success of the Paralympics has proved people with disabilities can take a full part in sport at the highest level. But does the same apply to politics? Frances Ryan, who's studying for a PhD in politics at Nottingham University, feels so passionately that people with disabilities aren't represented at Westminster. She's produced her own report for us to put her case.
I'm researching equal opportunity at the University of Nottingham.
Hi Francis, how are you?
Hi Chris, I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good.
I also write on equal opportunity and particularly disability issues. This summer the country was glued to our screens watching the Paralympics. We saw people like Richard Whitehead win gold.
Thanks for your support, guys.
It really helped get disability into the mainstream and show the way in which disabled people can represent their country. People seem uncomfortable with it for other things though, particularly politics. You only have to look at the current cabinet to see a model of an unrepresentative piece of government. White, male, middle class, and there was not one single disabled person in there. It seems you can run for your country, but you can't actually run your country. There are around 11 million people with disability in Britain. That's just under 7% of the population. I'm only aware of 6 disabled MPs though. That's less than 1% of the Commons.
Morning, Mr. Blunkett. Morning.
Probably the most famous disabled MP is David Blunkett, very well known for his guide dog. So why does it matter? Disabled people face a lot of the same issues that everybody else does, but for them, the issues really do hit them harder. Disabled people are more likely to live in poverty or have no qualifications than non-disabled people. Their interests really do need representing. But how are we going to do that? How are we going to actually get more disabled MPs into Parliament? There are multiple barriers standing in the way. Something like money is really important. The Home Office recently released a fund to help cover the extra costs that disabled candidates might face. Something as basic as transport or hiring a sign language interpreter. But there's other more complex things. Something like the physical demands, for instance, of the hours an MP has to do. There's a current campaign to allow MPs to job share, for instance. It's something like that that we really need to think about. Who leads us really does matter. And for a lot of marginalised groups, getting that foot into what's essentially the centre of power is a really important first move.
Well, I'm delighted to say that joining us to debate these issues is a man who's just made history. Stephen Green is thought to be the first person with Down syndrome to become a councillor anywhere in the country. He's just been appointed to Nuthall Parish Council and he's here with his very proud father, Grenville. Stephen, congratulations.
Thank you.
How does it feel?
It feels better now.
Are you looking forward to it?
I look forward to it, yes.
Are you nervous about your new post?
No.
Do you know exactly what you're going to do when you get in there?
To try to go for it today.
You're looking forward to it? That's
Yeah,
great.
just to it.
Grenville?
Stephen doesn't know exactly what he's in for, but the point is this is not it's not a joke. The thing is, Stephen, like anyone else, he's put up before for the parish council and he didn't get elected. It's about 2005. And I asked him when this vacancy came up, would you like to have a go at the parish council? And he said yes. So he did what anyone else could have done. And it's a shame, really, that someone didn't stand against him because it's only a small area in Nuthall East.
You must be very proud.
I'm over the moon.
Yeah, I bet you are. I can see it in your
over the moon.
face. Yeah, it's fantastic.
It's-
It really
yeah.
is. It's a great achievement. David, do you think that we need more people like Stephen coming into politics?
Well, I think it would be great if we can. I sit next to Robert Halfon in the House, who has serious movement problems. There's Paul Maynard. There was Jack Ashley, who had no hearing a long time ago. But I think there's a lot of scope for disabled people to become researchers in the House, to work with MPs and develop skills, and then perhaps they can go on and get elected.
In her report for us, Chris Leslie, Frances Ryan pointed out that there are still very few people with disabilities at Westminster. Is that a problem?
I think so, because people want, the House of Commons to be broadly reflective of the population as a whole. If people just think that it's nothing to do with their real lives, then they'll not feel as though the laws of the land are reflecting, their own experiences. But, quite honestly, if you're able to do the job and you can command the confidence of the electorate, and that's the key thing,
Yes.
then the people are free to elect who they like.
Yes, and you're a bit of a role model really now, aren't you, Stephen, for other
Yes,
people who might be
yes.
thinking about it?
Yeah.
They'll be looking to you, do you think, to see how you get on?
Got on the CrossFit and dance
Yeah?
and school as well. The pool with my friends.
What Stephen's doing, see, this is why I'm his personal assistant, because Stephen...
You're
is-
a very good personal assistant, I can see that.
Thank you very much. and the thing is, we're talking about the Just Dance and Mime in the city, and also he's a volunteer to a school for children with learning difficulties. He helps in the music section. But
Yeah.
this thing, getting back to the election, why he did it, is that parish councils and town councils should not be political, and it should reflect the grassroots. And this is Stephen reflecting his grassroots, if you like.
Yeah.
He decided he wanted to do it. Nobody else put up for it. Now we'll see now.
And you're really hoping that other people will follow in his
Of
footsteps,
course,
aren't
of
you?
course. I mean, we have a litter picker around our village. He's a great man. You never hear anything about him. But there's lots of people who do lots of good things, and they should be on the parish and town councils. It shouldn't be political, like
Okay.
the two gentlemen across the way there. If they want to play politics, fine. But parish and town
Are you
councils...
playing at politics, Chris?
Well, I think we've got to get more people from all sorts of backgrounds, but it doesn't mean we can't disagree with each other from time to time.
Of course not.
Now, ultimately, it's also the legacy you leave behind. But you look at some of our colleagues who have a disability, David Blunkett, for example, who actually I don't think people see him as somebody with a disability. He's achieved a massive amount in spite of his disabilities.
Yes.
And love him or hate him, people have got strong opinions about what he did when he was in politics, and it's what you do when you're in elected office that matters
But
most.
there is a serious point to all of this as well, isn't there? Especially when cuts are being made to people's benefits and things like that, David, changing who's eligible for disability benefits. We've spoken to people for the programme about this issue, and they actually say that they're very worried that there's nobody speaking up for them in Westminster, and that is an issue that you touched on, but that is a real problem, isn't it?
I don't agree with that. I think we would always represent those who are not as capable as we are because of disabilities. We always, as members of Parliament, make that a priority to make sure they are held. The benefit system was chaotic. One universal benefit is the right way forward, and it's also right and very popular with most people that it should always be better to be in work than on benefits. So there's a financial inducement now to get into work.
Well, I'm sure we all wish Stephen all the very, very best in your
Yeah.
new role. Good luck
Yeah,
with it,
good
and
luck.
do
Yeah.
let us know how you get on.
Yes, well,
It's there till 2015. I thought it was till next summer, but it's not. So it's there till 2015, and he
Brilliant.
never gives up. So
Great. Good for you, Stephen.
So, yeah.
That's the way to do it. Never
That's
give
right.
up.